This is McCook's Mr. Bill. It's an honor to have you here. Today we're going to discuss bullets. Now it's well known, like this 50 caliber bullet, things like that is what kills your enemy soldiers. This projectile comes out of this bullet going about 2,500 feet per second, and it'll kill an enemy soldier very, very easily and way out there. We understand that. But a little known fact though is that there's another way to kill people without a gun, using bullets. Without using bullets. And so we'll discuss that today. My father in World War II, one of the first drafted, a single ship with 5,000 men on it, zigzagged over to Africa. And there he volunteered to drive trucks, fuel and ammunition up to the tanks. And needless to say, some of the odd things he did though, was he would a bunch of trucks were ordered to go to a port one time, and he said they were supposed to pick up bullets, not the whole shell, just the bullet type thing. And he said it almost looked like a missile or a bomb, if you will. It had fins on the back of it. I don't know how well you're going to see the fins on this. That's right, they had fins on it. With that in mind, and it was about 2 inches long, all steel, a very pointed steel, and it was supposed to be dropped out of planes. And he said what they did, he said when they got to the ship, he said they took and they used, that's right, scoop shovels, just like this old scoop shovel here. He said they took scoop shovels and they loaded his truck as heavy as it could stand, clear full of these. Then they drove it to the air base where there were B-17s, and they scooped these into the plane. And he said a number of planes, he said they didn't do it to all of them, but just a few of them. And he said the idea was to suppress fire from the anti-aircraft guns shooting at the planes. And he said they would scatter them throughout all of the planes so that when they were open up, and he said these would scatter easily, a quarter of a mile wide and probably 2 miles long before they would finally hit the ground. And he said they would get to such velocity that he said it was said that they could penetrate a helmet. And the idea was to scatter them out there and just make people duck and get rid of the anti-aircraft fire that was just devastating to the B-17s at the time, because they were a slower flying bomber. And that was what they did. And he said he scooped a whole bunch of those, he said, in his time. He said he didn't know how many hundreds of thousands over the time period that they were doing this, that he had to scoop too. And he said he said it was incredible, the numbers of these that he had. He brought back 6 with him. I still have one left that he brought back from World War II. It's just a little finned bullet that was dropped out of a plane, what, a mile, maybe 2 miles high, and by the time it got to Earth, it was traveling at a high rate of speed, enough to kill a man, or at least make him duck so that he wasn't putting accurate fire up there at the planes. And I bet maybe a lot of you didn't know about this little guy. A bullet without a gun, a bullet without a shell behind it to make it speed down and range and kill somebody. But rather it just rained death. A bullet that rained death. Now you know. This is McCook's Mr. Bill. Rate this film.